Well, hello everybody, it is me, Postmodern Cowboy, and I'm back with something new. Something old for me, but something new for you. This is on my screen, Conan Exiles. We are playing Conan Exiles. I've been just chipping away here for 7 days on builds that I want to showcase for you for my channel. It's a build I have done before. I've done it before a couple times. Never on this map. This is the Isle of Siptah. Part of an update that came to Conan Exiles last summer or last spring, and there was an Age of Sorcery update just 7 days ago. So I hopped into that when it came out. I was playing Going Medieval, which of course I'm going to go back to imminently. I've just been so preoccupied with doing this, and we are on a public PvP server in Conan Exiles, which is a massively multiplayer online survival crafting game from Funcom, and I think it's produced by Tencent now, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. This is what's up. This is quite the project here. Quite the project. It has been a couple days, well, 7 days to be exact, of just grinding, away at at the build. So it's a castle. Go figure, right? And like I said, I have done this before, but it's a special design. We're at a very high point on the map. This is my character. My character here. I'll look at it that way. Epically, this is Rustam. Rustam the Great. Rustam, the hero from the Shahnameh. If you haven't read the Shahnameh, 10th century Iranian, or maybe 11th century Iranian poem by Ferdowsi, check it out. It's worth it. There's a full version on YouTube. It's like 12 hours long if you want to listen to it. But there's not the full version. And anyway, we're at a very high point in the map here. This is the Isle of Siptah, and I basically climbed on my first day to one of the highest points. It's not the highest point, I think it's the third highest point of the map, barring the Black Tower, which is of course the end game and where the boss is. And I built a keep. And it's pretty big. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the keep. Oh boy, that's big, eh? That's really big. So we're gonna go inside. I'm standing right now at the furthest forward position. This is the Barbican, the gate. The gate will extend, the drawbridge will extend to the next tower, and that's going to be this week. I'll do the round tower, probably top it with a flat roof, maybe a pointy roof. I don't know. We'll see what that design winds up coming out as. But this is done, and it's kind of hard to get a sense of the scale here, really. But this is huge for Conan Exiles base. This is absolutely massive, and I'll show you from the ground. I'll jump down and give you some ground perspective at the end, so you can see what people see when they run by. But you know, I've got some thralls over there. Like yeah, I've been working away. It's all T3, and not. I don't build with black ice even on PvP servers. I think black ice is tacky. I save my black ice and then I use it when I want to wall in someone else's base, but I don't build my base at a black ice. It's a useful building material, but I prefer to build aesthetically and functionally. Like I'm a big proponent of there being this merging of aesthetics and function in military architecture, in castle design, and specifically Conan Exiles. I think I've got that down. So we got the drawbridge, right? And I'll showcase at the end the anti-climb features, and then of course there are new mechanics, right? There was the Age of Sorcery update, which is what brought me back to Conan. I actually haven't had a chance to fuck with the sorcery at all. I've just been going on the building, as you'll see. So it's a triple gate configuration with a riding tunnel built within the wall. And yeah, I am aware I'm giving away my military secrets here. Like, these are proprietary defense secrets. If somebody wanted to raid me, they could view this channel, hop on my server, and raid away to their heart's content. First off, I don't think it's super likely. Second, if you want to try me. But third, I don't really care. Like, I'm just happy to showcase this design because I want people to think about PvP architecture and how to do it differently. Because I see a lot of aesthetic architecture in Conan Exiles. I see a lot of unaesthetic box architecture in Conan Exiles. And the PvP building tends to be toward that box side, or purely like hit points. Like the maximum amount of hit points in each block. Between where the enemy is and where they might want to go, and foundation stacking and stuff like that. So this is a little bit different. I have a lot of time in this game too. I'm at about 4,000 hours over the years. I've been playing since it came out, basically the week it came out. I think I might even hopped into an early beta or something. But 4,000 hours, not all of that being playtime, of course. I'm not a total loser, but I've spent a lot of time playing this, and so I've become pretty good at building. You know, we haven't had a chance to upgrade the shrine yet. I am collecting materials for my Mitra shrine. But this is the Mitra temple on the ground floor of the keep, just through the main entrance. And like I said, there's a riding tunnel on the side there, which goes back around to, what do we have here? The Champion Stable. Champion Stable, I'm keeping my personal horse. This is Rash, the Reds, and a couple rhinos back here, a caravan rhino and a riding rhino. This room is going to be updated here. Certainly needs more. There is an undercroft on this. I'm not going to show that undercroft off right now, just purely because it's not, you know, it's not a scenic undercroft. It's a functional undercroft. It's keeping the whole building up, and it's very, very strong. A lot of foundations in this build. So we go out to our first wall walk, and we've got this Terranian wall walk here. I have all of the building piece DLCs. I bought those over the years. I'm not getting into this. This is what is this? Battle Pass and Bazaar. Like, I'm not gonna get into this stuff. I'm not gonna fuck with that. That's not why I play these games. You know, little add-on parts are cool, but I just, you know, I bought the DLCs mostly so that I had access to like every single building piece in the game, so I could mix these styles. I also bought them like one every 6 months for years. So what do we have down here? This is it's like a bastion, right? We've just got like a large bastion holding down one end of the rise here. It's separated from the keep foundation with a spike pit. You can see rows of anti-climb, row upon row of anti-climb all over this thing. There's like 5 or 6 layers of anti-climb down, plus heavily stacked foundations toward the ground. Like it's an okay build. I'm a little bit worried about lightning. There's a new lightning mechanic, and I worry very much that some malicious vandal is just going to summon lightning on my building for the sheer shit and joy of watching it fall apart. And if they do that, okay, they hollowed out part of my base, and I'm going to have to rebuild. If they do it a couple times, okay, they wiped me, and I'm going to have to rebuild. But like I said, this took me about 7 days of fairly heavy play. So think about it like this build could be done if you had 7 people in one day. Could be done if everybody knew what they were doing and really pulled together. You probably could even do better than this, right? But you really have to plan it. And like I said, I planned it. So now we're around the back of the keep. Not too much to see over here. Just wall walk. And each of these, I'm gonna have to. A little bit of lag, I guess. Yeah, a little bit of lag. Look at that. Okay. Oh, there we go. Now it's open. All right, so we got some hatches built into the wall walk periodically here, so that you can huck down like fire orbs or gas orbs if someone's trying to climb up or get up in position and shoot them as they try to climb. You know how it goes. Okay. That won't close. I mean, it will close, but it's going to close on its own. There it goes. Yeah, so there's some weird performance and lag issues. I mean, Sorcery has done that, but also like there are some new optimizations from Funcom, and it's not perfect right now. They'll get it. They tend to get it in 2 or 3 patches. There's been 1 patch so far, so hopefully by the next one they'll have some of the rebalancing, and they will address the lightning damage to tier 3 structures. Because right now the lightning is super overpowered, and like I said, we'll hollow out a massive base in 1 or 2 casts of the spell, pop vaults, just like absurd random damage. I have a theory that the random damage is actually done to random objects in the base, meaning that the more objects you have in your base, the more likely it is those objects will eat the lightning instead of your foundations. But without further ado, we're gonna go up, and I'm gonna show you the rest of the base here, because this is. You can see my vault up there. This is a big building, and I put a lot of effort into this. Like I said, 7 days of building. And it did distract me from going medieval, where I'm also building a castle. But I just wanted to get this done. I just wanted to get this out of the way, have this base completed, or as completed as I can. I still need to fill it with thralls and tames. We're working on that. I'm gonna put my bow away here. We are working on the taming and the thralling. Bow away. Okay, so you'll notice Each wall contains war walks, like these outer. There's the wall walk, then there's the war walk, this inner hallway, which is airlocked at both ends. So even if an enemy manages to gain access to the hallway, they're still gonna have to blast through a door in order to access the next section. And then, you know, these sections actually, I've got an archer standing out here on like a little parapet. And so I'm gonna put 2 more of these parapets at the back. I just haven't climbed up there to do it. Certainly not short on materials to do it with. And you'll notice that barbican at the front is also built on top of a bastion similar to the one in the back. The one in the back is a trebuchet, the one in the front is the barbican. When that round tower is done, it's going to come, you know, maybe 8 foundations higher than the barbican, so like 2 gate heights. But it'll be pretty big, and it'll probably have a shrine or vaults or something in it. We'll see. So I use a combination of stairwells for access in the towers in the corners, the bartizan style towers, and internal elevators. Oh, there's some sandstone up there. So there's little pieces of sandstone from the early build still floating through here that I just missed, but I think I nailed it otherwise. So we're gonna take a look now in the smithy and the craftery, and you know they're working away. These are upgraded, fully upgraded high-end crafting stations. I'm not gonna go through what they all do, but they all do things. I keep my alchemist on the next floor, but there is a firebowl down here, a big one, and vaults. Lots of vaults in this build, right? Lots of vaults in this build. It's a nice open smithy. Sometimes I build crafting areas and they feel pretty cramped, but I like to be able to transit around my crafting areas, go into all of the spaces between the stations, like really like get full accessibility. And we're gonna head up 1 floor. So going up 1 floor, you can also go up by the stairwell or 2 elevators at the front. You arrive at the Alchemy lab. The Alchemy lab is much more fortified than the smithy, but this is above the smithy, so it's also protecting it from above. If we get hit from above, like by like a yogg, like a god attack. There's gods in this game, and people can summon them, and they attack your base. One god like smashes down on a base from above. This room is built to withstand a little bit more vertical damage. I'm going to put some extra sloped ceilings in and stuff, just to really like just up armor the room. But it's a pretty fortified room, probably the second strongest room in the base. And you know, it's got the precision fire bowls, it's got fountains, the dye makers, the alchemy stations. I haven't got any alchemists yet. I am still looking. There actually aren't any at any of the thrall camps near me on the map. There's one fairly close, but I haven't gone that direction yet because that's where the servers PvP griefers hang out in that area. So I don't want to cross swords with them quite yet. And there are PvP griefers who are lightning attacking other people's bases. They haven't fucked with mine. And we'll see what happens. I've got another parapet off the front. This one, you'll notice the interlocking fields of fire, a very important feature to be able to see from one parapet down to another. So if somebody achieves that first parapet, they start trying to blast their way through the door down there or something. Somebody up here or a guard up here with a bow can shoot down on that angle. And I've got the floor below this, or the level below this, actually covers the gate too on the barbican. So the towers have internal staircases, because of course they do, and some degree of cover from the windows. Windows aren't great in Conan. They're hit and miss, mostly miss if you're shooting through them. And then that takes us up to spooky glowing green floor here, fake forest, if you will. This is the taming floor. So we've got the animal taming pen, and this is a big thing to have inside any structure. Like, animal taming pen is legit massive, and so it took me some math, some actual like design math before I built this to figure out how on this floor I was going to fit this thing perfectly. I had to test that this would work, but I've managed to transfer enough structure to the floor above that this building can still sustain a lot of damage, and the worst thing that's going to happen is it's going to be hollowed out right in the middle here, which is great, because if it does get hollowed out right in the middle where it's weak, I just have to rebuild that section. I can put the taming pen back, and we've got our stables over here. We're taming some horses. We got another horse that just came up there. Lots and lots of manure and compost. I've been composting. Haven't started the garden yet. That's probably this coming weekend's project is getting my, it's not food production per se, but getting my like herb production and special stuff production up and running. Now this is the really impressive room up here. This other side here is just the same going back down. It's another continuation of the round tower design. This is the Great Hall. So the Great Hall is sandwiched near the top of the building, between the two, between all four towers. Really, and these towers contain apartments accessible through these doors, and some internal doors that I won't show you. But oh, what the hell! A little bit of lag there opening this. Easily the most impressive Great Hall that I've built in this game. Like, it really captures what I was going for here. You know, I was going for like a quasi Middle Eastern, quasi Persian vibe, maybe a little bit of Alamut in here. You know, okay, it's a little more ornate than that perhaps, but it's really nice. This is a fully decorated Great Hall, and oh yeah, I've missed a couple vaults on the way up, but that's fine. That's probably for the best. But there's, you know, a vault up here, just like chock full of my riches, because this castle is actually built on top of a gold and silver node. It's why this position is good. So if you want to farm your alchemical base, you're not far from spiders, and you're not far from gold and silver. In fact, you're right on top of gold and silver. And we get a kitchen here, with, you know, food in the drying rack, food in the fridges, and over here we've got like a meadery, like a fermenting annex where I can make beer and wine and things to drink, because that's a thing you can do in Conan Exiles. And like I said, these corner towers are just residential. You know, there's a bedroom in each one of them. Nothing too fancy, but yeah, this bedroom is bigger than some people's whole bases. I'll put it that way, right? And I don't know at what point I run afoul of the server, the unofficial official rules about massive constructions. I've had constructions that are bigger than this, so I'm not too worried, but we could cross that line at any point in time, and then I don't know. So it's getting on toward night. I think I'm actually going to leap out this window here. Well, that went well. I'm gonna hop back up to that bed there. I'm gonna do that again. They're just going to jump from the balcony here. I seem to have better control. I may need to grab onto the barbican. I haven't really figured out the mechanics of exiting this. There we go. That was a little hairy, but oh boy. So just a slight bit of lag going on here. Okay. Some drama going on in the background there. This isn't quite completed yet, but and the shades of night are falling fast as through the Alpine village passed a youth who bore amid snow and ice that banner with a strange device. Excelsior! I'm gonna catch up with you when the sun's back out. Okay, sun's up, guns up. Here we go. I'm just gonna hop down. It's a long way. Oh, there's my corpse. Probably gonna have to kill some birds out here so I can get a good look, but it's a great game. It's a really great game. It's one of the few games where I'm pleased to say I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I gotta kill these fuckers. If I can look. Oh, come on. I was just saying. Oh, okay. Lots of lag. Lots of lag. Okay. So that's it. That's the build. As you can see, it's quite large, and I still haven't finished putting the buttressing in place on the exterior. That, you know, just adds hit points, just gives trebuchet shots something else to contact. I mean, somebody setting up a demon fire barrage from down here, lobbing explosive jars up the trebuchet. You're gonna have to take a lot of shots to do any real structural damage. It's gonna take them a while to find the sweet spot. If they do at all. And, you know, again, I haven't really finished the foundation. I'm still working on that. Yeah, I am definitely foundation stacking. I'm using fence foundations, storm glass fence foundations, just to change the aesthetic. But then, you know, I'm layering foundations, and, you know, there's little tricks that you get, like putting a weak floor on top of a strong sloped floor, so that when they set off their bomb, the weak floor is destroyed, but when they go back to place the bomb again, they're actually one level down, and now they're putting the bombs on a slope, so they roll away. Like, that works really well. I haven't seen too many builds that take lightning into consideration. I think the primary way to defeat lightning is just to keep them from getting under your base, which for me is maybe a little bit easier because this is under the base right here. It's just way too far out to cast lightning. But, you know, they could theoretically climb up and, like, cast from inside of my buttressing there, and that might actually cause a lightning storm to form above the keep. So I'm gonna continue expanding the keep, but I'm gonna expand the keep with anti-climb ringing outwards. So we're gonna enter the castle here. I guess I'll just call the old elevator down. Really? Here we go. Oh, that's lovely. And the elevators take a while, so you want to, when you jump down, you know, because I jumped down the other side and I died, but when you jump down, you want to pull the chain on your way down so that the elevator's arriving at the bottom just after you have, meaning that if you decide you want to turn around and come back up, you don't have to wait for the elevator to come down, because right now I haven't built an access to the elevator. That's quite intentional. I'm kind of hiding my presence here. And if I built a big box here, it would be easier to leave. I could store things here, but the downside would, of course, be that people would notice, you know, here they're riding by, they see, what, sandstone foundations in an elevator base? Like, sometimes they don't even look up, and that works for me. Only a few people have found this base. One person tried to raid it, and he died hilariously. He got stuck on my wall. I boxed him in, I closed the gates, and he pulled his bracelet. He committed suicide to get out. Oh boy. You know, for all the playtime I have in this game, I'm none too graceful. None too graceful. All right. So this is a trap elevator. For those of you who don't know what a trap elevator is an elevator which at some point in its upward journey traps you, prevents you from leaving. Trap elevators are one of my favorite things to do because they will stop a raid right there. You know, Buddy's got his bombs, he's got his explosive orbs, his gas orbs, his explosive arrows. He's on his way up to raid a base that he thinks is going to be an easy mark. He just looks at it and he's like, yeah, I can raid that. And so instead of climbing up like a smart person, he decides to take your elevator, and, you know, it's kind of a boring ride. He might zone out for a second. He's like, okay, we're going to be at a door soon. What does it mean when you reach that door? And a lot of people don't think that through, especially their first or second time raiding a base. You know, veterans, we all know what an elevator trap looks like. But so this is the point where he starts to be like, what am I supposed to do here? Right? What is this? See this little switch here? So this switch can send the elevator back down or up. But once the elevator enters this alcove, I'm gonna crouch here so it doesn't kill me, because it definitely can kill you. Once it enters this alcove, see this switch clips to the wall. And now I'm sandwiched in this little alcove. And I can't get the elevator switch to go back down. And if I was not of this clan, I couldn't open this door. And if I set a bomb off in here, it would destroy the elevator, but it would also kill me. And I wouldn't have my stuff back yet. I'd have to climb back up without the benefit of having the elevator, because I can't build on it because it's not mine. I don't own it, right? Me, I can just open the door. So that's a trap elevator. In a nutshell, the switch to operate the elevator is accessible to the elevator owner. The switch to operate the elevator is, if you had a second person with you, they could climb up to the outside. Here, I'm going to take this elevator up just a little bit and show you what I mean, because you also can't climb out of here, right? This room is a trap. If you try to climb up, you're going to get caught on these anti-climb here. So if somebody jumps in this room, they better be able to blast their way out, because they are stuck in there. But now, see, look, if you had a friend, there's two people raiding together, because that's just a smart way to do it. I'm a solo player in Conan. I roll alone. A solo alpha on PvP server for almost 2 years. For almost 2 years, I was a solo alpha, and I'm not sad about that. But see, if you had a second player, they could come outside and they could flip this elevator switch on their own, right? And then you get your body out or get yourself out that way. Okay. I'll hop back down there. And we're going to take the second elevator up. So it's a two-stage elevator trip. That's just a pretty strong disincentive to even beginning to approach the base, right? Like, the only real way up, right now there's going to be a ramp off that second tower that probably goes down to ground level somewhere, but right now the only real way up is these elevators, and they're both trapped. Both of the lifts are trapped. They're also quite long lifts. You're exposed, you're vulnerable, your thrall's stuck down at the bottom or is weirdly teleporting onto ledges and stuff. And this is pretty sheer. There's nowhere to really put bombs here along the foundation. Again, I haven't put in the storm glass fence. I'm going to do that probably tomorrow when I'm playing. I'll do an updated video this weekend, and I'm also just going to immediately record. If somebody lightnings my base, and I'm online if I'm lucky enough to be online when they do it. Not only am I going to kill them, but I'm gonna try to capture what happens to the base, because I want to understand how the lightning works. If you're really bored, I might even call it in myself. But well, lots of anti-climb, multiple rows of anti-climb. Another trap elevator. And that leads back to the riding hall, right? Besides the Mitra shrine, which again, I gotta upgrade the Mitra shrine so I think I'm a big god laser to the sky, but also letting everyone know I'm here. but also so I can get those upgraded recipes, and it'll just look cool. It'll be like a big golden Atlas type dude kneeling here, thinking pensively. But yeah. So it's been a project. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's a good design. It's a very big design, and there's still empty spaces in it that I'm not sure entirely what I'm going to do with, or how I'm going to finish some of the finer details. Like, I really try to get granular in decorating things. Just gonna drop the drawbridge again. And for its own part here, the Barbican is not internally accessible. You can't get to the top of the Barbican. There's another trap elevator here too. It goes down to the bastion down there, but the Barbican is actually accessible from the gatehouse just above the main gate, and you can take that little elevator across, horizontal elevator, to reach the top of the Barbican. So you can still shoot down from the top of the Barbican in all directions. I can put archers up there, of course I'm going to, and they can cover the front of the building from climbers. Like, Not that I'm worried about anyone climbing up here, like that anti-climb. That is, they're not getting around that. They're gonna have to pop it off and like go stage by stage. There's more anti-climb further up, and there's this anti-climb all over the roof. Like this is a good design, and it's got, you know, a fairly small footprint. Some bases are really sprawling. This is all vertical, which is both good and bad, because if they get into your foundations, obviously that's going to cause a problem. The way I've chosen to mitigate that is by making it unclear where the foundations connect to the terrain. That's all hidden behind those the buttressing, and you can see from here some of the fence foundations that are being put in to. Oh well, let's go down, shall we, and take a closer look. You see, there's sandstone here too. Fence foundations add not only just extra health, but also like, which one of these needs to be destroyed? The truth is, none of them. I could destroy the bottom one, that one, that one. I could destroy 3 of the foundations in a row, and the top one would still hang on because it's actually still in contact with the bedrock, right? And it's unclear which ones are and are not because of the shape of the hill. So I feel like I've done a pretty good job of, you know, these big long ones, like many in the middle are in full contact with the ground, but it just aesthetically looked better to have it go all the way down to complete the buttress. So somebody again with the trebuchet is going to need to be like, you know, hit and miss, trial and error, I should say. It's just going to be a trial and error process of figuring out. And even then, if they manage to drop one foundation, the whole interior of the building is super supported. I'm just putting in more struts. Every time I've got spare building material, I'm putting struts into the interior because, you know, you lose a foundation, you don't want the whole thing to collapse. And so even if they do manage to drop, you know, half of one side's foundations, half of that side's still going to be standing and supporting the other half. You know, and there's also internal anti-climb built to block areas off should the foundations be taken out. The only thing I'm really worried about, I'll be honest with you, is the lightning, is an attack from above, or an attack which comes through the walls of the structure itself from the sides. And, you know, apparently the devs have confirmed that the lightning is a bug, not a feature, at least as far as the amount of damage it's doing to tier 3. It is a pretty obscene amount of damage, and I've heard a lot of people complaining. Many people have quit the game. I'm not going to quit the game if my castle gets hit with lightning. Like I said, this is, you know, a 7-day test from me. Put my sandcastle out there. I view Conan Exiles building as, you know, something like those Zen monk mandala. You spend a bunch of time making this thing, and at the end of the day, it gets blown up, it gets destroyed, it decays on its own. If you don't log on, you lose what you built. So there's something serene in putting that amount of time and effort and energy and care and detail into something, only to have it destroyed or lost or eventually go away when you stop playing with it. But that's kind of the point, because nothing in life is permanent, and these castles, especially built on PvP servers, are really just a test of the game mechanics, the building systems in place, the PvP systems in place, and are iterative. They get better every time I build them. Like I said, it takes about 7 days. I think it would take a clan of 7 to 10 people a day or two to build something comparable, but they'd really have to want it and work for it and have an organized plan on how to achieve it. But it is doable. It is doable. So I'm going to leave it there. That's all from me for now. This has been Postmodern Cowboy. I'll be back probably later this evening, actually, with Little Going Medieval. Episode number 8, of course, is still coming. I haven't forgotten about that, but I just decided that building the Conan Exiles castle was more important. This was a new update, and I'm gonna fuck the sorcery as well in the days to come. But yeah, that's all for me for now. This is Postmodern Cowboy. What's best in life? Well, it is to crush your enemies, to see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentations of their noobs. This is in Postmodern Cowboy. What is best in life? To see your enemies driven before you,